What's up, guys? It is Monday. We are out here at the shop and have a little surprise. There was a car that I owned a few years ago that made its way back here. I put out a post on Facebook a couple weeks ago looking for an engine and trans for my 68 Mustang, and somebody hit me up and he said that he wanted $9 grand for the entire car, and that's less than I paid for it when I bought it. I couldn't pass it up, and I was originally just going to use this car for the drivetrain and the electronics, but I'm not 100% sure after seeing it now. So the car has a Dart Block 347. It's got like an eBay CX Racing turbo kit. Interior's not too bad. Needs carpet, needs seats. It's got covers on the seats. Dash is in decent shape. Obviously on a Holly, so it's got the nice Holly screen. It's like a 686 dash. I've got to run to the post office and ship some stuff out that I sold on Facebook. So, all right, let's give her the old cold start. That was a little rough. All right, she's warmed up, she's idle and smooth. So by this time, I'm kind of realizing everything that's wrong with it. The rear end's howling like crazy. It definitely needs some tuning. I can already tell that it's going to run hot. Right now, we're driving past the OG test spot, and it looks a lot different these days. They've cut down a lot of the trees at the racetrack, and kind of upset about it, to be honest. It was beautiful before in the fall, and now it's just barren wasteland. Fuel gauge doesn't work in this thing, so anytime I see an E85 station, definitely want to stop and top it off, especially since I haven't seen it in a while and I don't know how much is in it. I think some good fresh E85 will probably do this thing some good. It didn't get driven a lot after I got rid of it. I got a couple thumbs up at the gas station, but not as many as I usually get when I drive the 55 in there. Well, I can hear the fans working when I turn the key on, so fans are definitely working. It may just be a little bit low on water. So I can already tell it's running a lot better on the new E85. However, it's still running like 205 on temperature. Yeah, she's running a little bit warm. I made it here. I'm gonna let it cool down for a little bit, go in the house, check on things, and we'll drive it some more here in a minute. All right, so we let this thing cool down for a little bit, and I pulled the radiator cap off, and it was under a pretty good amount of pressure. I don't know if it's been like that for a while or what I suspect that there's a head gasket problem. That would be the only reason I could think that there would be pressure in the cooling system. And that would explain it breaking up a little bit too. So I don't know what head gaskets are even on this thing. It's kind of hard to tell by just looking down in there, but it's probably time for this thing to come out and get rebuilt and everything, and freshened up. So we'll drive it back. We'll get on it just a little bit more and see if it clears up, see if it gets hot again, and we'll go from there. See if it gets hot on the way to the post office. We've been driving for about 12 minutes and we're already at 205, 210, so I haven't got on it at all. I suspect it's either a stuck thermostat or maybe it's just the head gasket is blown down. We have made it to UPS. We're gonna ship some struts out and a hard drive. All right, got everything shipped out, and next on my list is gonna be going back to the shop, and we're gonna work on the Camaro for a little bit. It sure is a beautiful day. Made it back. She was definitely running hot again. We'll let it cool down and we'll dive into this one later. We're gonna get on the Camaro now.
Do it. I'll get you. I'll get you.
All right, so we got the rear end hanging right now. As you can see, these springs are run basically all the way up on the shock. I don't like that because when it's compressed, this spring is very, it's all very tight. Like, it's compressed way too much. And I feel like the spring can't do its job. It's probably getting close to coil bind, honestly, when it goes to full squat. So we're gonna get a heavier spring to put in the back, and hopefully we'll be able to run these down a little bit lower, and they'll be less compressed at ride height. We want room for it to compress without it coil binding. And we got the shocks off. These are, what are these? 12-inch 95s. So honestly, I think we could probably run a 14. Like a 14 110. I'm gonna see if I have some. It's been smashing them so hard that now it's hard to get it apart. So obviously this car squats naturally with these bar angles. And I know the rear end's hanging right now, but it's not a very good representation. It's definitely set up to squat, so when it leaves, it's pretty neutral. Like, it squats a little bit and kind of just stays there at about a 1/2 inch squatted, and then as it goes down the track and the wing starts to take effect, it squats 3.5, 4 inches. And I don't know that that's necessarily the best thing, because when that's happening, your instant center is moving farther and farther and farther out, and it's not really applying pressure to the tire. It's soaking it up with the shock. Like, it's trying to apply pressure to the tire, obviously, but a lot of it is just getting soaked up by the shock compressing and the wheels going up in the wheel well. So I may do a little bar change and lower the upper bar down a little bit on the chassis, or raise it one hole on the rear end. I'm gonna plot it out where it's at and kind of see what happens if I move it one way or the other to try to get it where I want it. I'd like for this thing to be about 105% anti-squat. Just above 100% would be nice. I think right now it's probably at 75%. And that's not the best for backside. All right, so we got the 14-inch 110s on here. And they're a little long, but they fit. Shouldn't have to run them up near as high to get the ride height right. And I'm hoping that they compress about 30% at ride height. That way I got plenty of room to move either direction when it separates or squats. It's not gonna separate a lot, but it'll probably squat down track no matter what I do because of that wing. Hey man, I think the wheel goes on first, but I could be wrong. You gonna put my shocks on for me? Just gonna keep putting wheel spacers on there. What are we doing? He's putting some lug nut spacers on before the wheels. What are you doing? Changing springs. I feel like it's about time for us to start scraping the rubber off. Keeps getting in my ear.
It's a good bit. Where are you going with that? We need that.
Big shout out to Low Dollar Motorsports for these shock sensors. Run these on all our cars. Give him about 3 years, he'll be putting them on. He knows where it goes.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
It's me.
Magic Mike.
I'll show you some magic, Annie.
All right, so we've got the new springs on in the back, and I'm pretty happy with the way it's sitting right now. As you guys can see, we've got plenty of shock shaft showing. It's not gonna bottom out real easy. And we're gonna separate this thing a little bit more, or I guess less squat. So I'm not super worried about it bottoming out. And I think that'll apply more pressure to the rear tires because they're not getting sucked up in the wheel wells down track when the wing's pushing down. If the car is trying to separate or stay neutral the entire pass, I think that wing will apply more pressure to the tires if the suspension is trying to fight back against it. So That's my theory. We're gonna try it. We'll probably go test somewhere. Yeah, so we're at 78% anti-squat. I believe that the height was 10 inches off the ground and 55-inch length. So that's probably where you would see a big tire car run. I usually just change one bar at a time, that way the rear end doesn't move. And then I just like to do it that way. So we're going up one hole on the chassis side, and I plotted it out, and if I raise it one hole, it puts us at 105-ish% anti-squat, and it has a really high instant center. That's gonna help us lift the front more. This car has never really tried to wheelie. It's always kind of just went down the track without extending the front like I'd like. And I think this will help bad surfaces. We may have to make a little change for front side, but I think these bar angles are gonna work really good on the back side. It should make it to where it just plants the tire and goes, but it doesn't extend like crazy. It should just roll back on the tire and be pretty neutral. We may have to run a little bit tighter rebound shock settings to keep it from extending too much, but it's better than what it's doing now. I'm really happy with the 4-link right now. I think it's gonna work really well, and I can't wait to try it. We need to get out and test it. I may try to find somewhere to test tonight because it looks like it's gonna rain everywhere else the rest of the week. We'll see. I'm really happy with the 4-link right now. I think it's gonna work really well, and I can't wait to try it. We need to get out and test it. I may try to find somewhere to test tonight because it looks like it's gonna rain everywhere else the rest of the week.
So don't pay any attention to the 60 foot because there was a mud clod stuck to the tire when you left.
Okay.
So the 60 foot, junk. I guarantee it's junk. But what was the rest of it?
Went 530 at 150. And the front end came off the ground for the first time. At the end. It was like 2 feet in the air. Finish line. And it was straight. So it's applying more pressure to the tire. I mean, it's gotta be. It's lifting the front now. It's never done that. Yeah, I know there's a hill at the end, but it felt like it was before the hill when it came up. One on the back's fine. Before we get home. All right, so obviously it spun off the hit. The air's a little spicy tonight. It's right at like 200 feet DA. But I think what I'm seeing in this log, it looks like it extended like 1/4 of an inch and then went back down a little bit. It bounced just a little bit. It had a lot of wheel speed as soon as it left. And a lot of that was because of that dirt.
Yeah.
I think if that dirt wasn't there, it wouldn't have been near as bad.
Right.
From what I'm seeing in this log. I can definitely tighten up the rebound though, because it extends to down here. Extends from 3.6 to 4.4 within 0.5.
Yeah. That's too much. Way too much.
An inch. If I can drag this out and make it extend for 1.5,
Yeah, that would be.
that would be very ideal. But you can see this shock right here. This is the shock, the rear. How it goes up, and then the wing is still pushing down super hard on it. And it's bottoming out like right at the finish line now instead of 3 seconds. So I can
You've made
definitely
some
feel-
changes to the shocks and you've made changes to the springs. You put different springs in it, and you've made a
Yeah,
bar angle.
I've been covering all that stuff.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, I cover all that. It did exactly what I wanted it to do down track. It's never lifted the front wheels off the ground, and it finally did. I know it's digging really hard, and there's hardly any wheel speed after the first gear change. It's just dead hooked out the back. I can probably take 3 degrees out of that wing if the surface isn't bad.
It looks like it's got quite a bit in it.
It's got 8 in it before it, does this.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is probably,
So it's very aggressive.
Probably 2 degrees once it's tipped back.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I'd probably leave it alone. I'd rather have more than enough than not enough. Because you want that thing to come in as early as you can possibly get it to come in.
If I need to go any more than 150, I'll start taking some angle out of it.